Hey guys, so I have been stalling on making this video since I got back, but I made it to Vidcon. It was an amazing trip and I want to share some stories with you guys. I didn't blog like I was supposed to. I suck at that, I'm sorry, but a lot of my friends did, so I will leave some links below that you can check out. And Vidcon actually did a pretty good job of uploading videos from Vidcon as well if you want to check out any of the panels and cool shows that were at Vidcon this year. So let's start from the beginning. So I had work on Monday and got off at 6 o'clock, which then I headed straight to Meg's house and ended up picking her up so we could get to the Raleigh airport in North Carolina, which we got there around 4 a.m. and our flight was at 6 a.m. So perfect timing. We got there in time, parked our car, got all of our stuff over to the airport. We were actually filming some footage for Meg's video that she's going to upload later. We had some of the security people come up to us and ask us what it was like to be YouTubers. Honestly, it's kind of hard to explain to someone how to make a career out of YouTube who's never really done anything with YouTube or social medias. So it was kind of awkward explaining it to them, but I think by the end of our conversation, they kind of got it. We actually met another YouTuber in Raleigh who was actually on the same flight as us, and it was kind of cool because she noticed my playlist stuff and the fact that Meg was blogging, and she just came up to us and she was just like, "Hey, are you guys YouTubers?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're going to VidCon." And she was like, "Me too." It was actually pretty awesome. So we got to jump on the plane, which thankfully was a direct flight. We didn't have any connected flights, so we went straight from Raleigh to the LAX airport, which was huge. We didn't really get to see much of the airport when we first landed because our friend Cassie and her boyfriend Ken were already there waiting for us. So we ran down, grabbed our baggage from the baggage claim, and jumped into their car. Thankfully, they had rented a car, so we didn't have to Uber or anything like that. Cassie and Ken had actually been there a few days. They'd actually rented a car and gotten Airbnb, which was really nice. We got to stop by there and grab their stuff after we got picked up from the airport before we headed down to the beach, which was actually really nice. We got to go to the Santa Monica Pier and got to hang out on the beach. It was nice because I got to stick my feet in the Pacific Ocean, which is pretty awesome. I think I'm going to be going to Virginia Beach here soon, so I'll actually be able to say that I was on both coasts this year, and that's really exciting for me. I'd never been to the West Coast before, so this whole trip to me was an eye-opening experience. I will definitely say the West Coast is a lot drier than the East Coast, at least the part that I was in. I don't know how I feel about that. I am glad to be home. It's nice to be around the mountains. I've definitely taken advantage of that. I actually went on a camping trip right after I got back with my family, which was really nice. It's kind of an annual thing that we do, and it was nice because this year we actually all were able to make it, even though I think I got sick coming back from the East Coast and my throat's still a little bit sore. But I toughed it out and I went camping anyway, even though that was probably not the best idea for someone who was sick. Gosh, there's so many stories I want to tell, but I know that I've got to make this video short so that I'm not like just blabbing forever. But we got to our hotel finally. One of the first things I noticed when I got to the hotel was the fact that our hotel did not have air conditioning, which to me is kind of a big thing. I would never have rented a room at that hotel had I known AC was not a thing. They had like a fan that you could set on high and low, but in California it's hot compared to over here, and it was not something I was used to, and I cannot sleep in heat. So we had to leave the balcony door open, which kind of sucked at some points because the road beside our hotel people thought was a good place to do drag racing, and it was extremely loud sometimes and I didn't get much sleep. But I'm not going to use this video to complain about things because there were so many amazing things to talk about. So I've been to Playlist before and I got to meet lots of YouTubers there, and honestly I'm kind of, when it comes to YouTube, I don't know a lot of people. I know the people that I watch and that's about it. I'm not really, when it comes to my YouTube, it's a very small portion of people that I know. So Playlist, I knew very few people, and VidCon was a completely different story. Honestly, walking around, I saw so many different people and I got to go to so many panels and shows where I got to meet YouTubers that I've actually watched several times and really enjoy their channels. Some of the YouTubers that I met were iJustine, which actually was our first YouTuber that we ran into. Meg and I went to the panel, and then Cassie met up with us later, and honestly, to see Meg get so excited when she saw I Just Seen It was crazy. Meg actually cried a little bit. She'll probably have some footage of that when she uploads her video, because she had her GoPro on her shoulder, she had her phone in her hand, and then her DSLR I think I was holding. I'm not really sure, but I Just Seen was just as beautiful and amazing in person as she is in all of her videos. I loved meeting her, and honestly, she's the type of person that I would probably want to be friends with in real life. So some YouTubers that I got to meet but didn't really get to like meet, like walk up and talk to them was Hannah Hart, Grace, and Mamrie. Loved them, got to see them in several different panels. They are amazing. They seem like people that I would definitely love to be around and be friends with. I got to go to an amazing panel with Joey Graceffa and his entire crew. I got to hear from everyone who kind of helps Joey like move his career along, and it was actually really cool to see how many people were involved in just keeping Joey's life like running smoothly, and all the things that Joey's doing now. It's crazy how many people he's got in his life to make sure everything just stays on track. So last year at Playlist Live, one of the people that I really wanted to meet was Tanner Patrick, and I didn't get to see him. My friend Brian got a picture with him, and I didn't get to see him. I was so upset about it. But this year I got to see him perform. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet him in person, even though he did say he was going to come out in the crowd and meet people. I didn't find him. It was a huge crowd. There was probably around 20,000 people there, so it was really hard to see people. So another YouTuber that I actually got to run into was Laura Cleary. She was actually riding down the escalator as Meg and I were going up, and I was just like, oh my god, I love you. And she was just like, oh, thank you. So Meg and I like got up to the top and just ran down the escalator because I wanted to get a picture with her. I did actually get a picture of her and Steven, which was awesome, because out of all the YouTubers I met, she was probably the nicest person. She was so adorable, and she actually did a few clips with people around us doing her Steven voice and all of that, which was really cool to see. I would say one of my favorite spots at Vidcon was the huge convention center. They had all these booths set up, which was amazing because you had like the Nickelodeon booth, which Meg actually got slimed in. Then there was also the American Ninja Warrior booth, which they had like this steep slope that you had to like run up and then grab the bars and pull yourself up. Meg and I both tried it. We both failed, but it was still fun trying. There was another booth where I actually got to jump inside of like a sound booth and actually sing. I chose to sing I Will Survive because they really didn't have any good choices. And honestly, I don't know how I sounded. My friend said that I looked really serious singing, so I'm very curious to see what that looks like. I think Cassie actually got some footage. She might put that on her channel, who knows. But it was a lot of fun anyways. While we were actually in the convention center, we actually ran into Jordan Dow, who is a YouTuber that I had actually met and actually gotten to know at Playlist last year. Didn't even know who he was before Playlist. And I found out that he was actually a YouTuber from Virginia like I am, and when I walked up to him, he actually recognized me and knew me by name, which was really cool, and we got a picture together. You guys can check out my Facebook, Instagram. I've been posting a lot of stuff there. I've got some videos that I took, not really vlogs, but kind of videos of things that I saw. I wasn't really in the videos. I think there was only one video from Disneyland that I uploaded that I'm actually in, but you can definitely check that video out. But I would say the most awesome part about Vidcon altogether was the fact that I got to meet so many other people just like me, people who are creators and out there posting things on YouTube. One of my favorite people that I met, her name was Carly. Her YouTube channel is Carly Smashes Ivory, which you guys should go check out. She's amazing. She actually got to perform on the Hollister stage at Vidcon, her first Vidcon ever, and she got to perform at Vidcon. She was dressed up like Johnny Depp. It was hilarious. I actually got introduced to her through a friend that I'd made at Vidcon earlier that week. His name was Connor, and he's pretty awesome as well. You can check out his Instagram. I'll leave all of their information in the description below. I also got to run into my friend Kaitlyn, who I'd done videos with in the past. She was one of my friends in high school, and I think she said this was either her 6th or 7th VidCon, which is crazy to think. Then I also got to meet my friend Eddie's friend Brittany, who I've been following on YouTube for a while. She's hilarious. If you guys haven't already, check out her video. I'll leave the link below as well. I also feel like I should probably give a huge shout out to IHOP just because that was kind of our breakfast place, because it was right across the street, which I'm going to try to get Cassie to cross the street where the crosswalk is not at. The IHOP was literally right across the street, but you had to walk an entire block down to the crosswalk. And every single day I tried to get Cassie to walk across the street because it was such a short walk, but she always insisted that we follow the rules and cross where there was a crosswalk. Even though there was a median and we could have easily gotten across, Cassie, less walking. Good. Less walking is good. But honestly, there's just so many things that happened. I would say one of my favorite things was probably watching Colleen transform into Miranda Sings on stage. She is an amazing person. I put that video on my Facebook page if you guys want to check that out. It's pretty awesome. I think Vidcon also posted it on their YouTube page if you wanted to check it out there. They probably got better like zoom and footage there than I did for my channel. So I also met another YouTuber, his name was PeteyBoy. You guys can check out his videos as well. He actually got some awesome footage of VidCon. He was actually uploading a video every single day that he was there. I believe Carly did that as well on her channel. You can check that out. I'll leave it in the description down there. But he was actually in the panel that I went to, how to make your YouTube channel into a business. And they broke us up into groups, and he was actually in my group. And we got to talking, and it was really awesome because he had a lot of ideas, and he also gave me some tips on how to use Final Cut, which I'm still very new at and not very good at, but hopefully I'll get better the more that I edit videos. I'm going to try to post a lot more videos this year than I have in the past. I know I kind of fell short for a few months this year, but I think the videos that I posted in February for the 28 days of February should have held you guys over until now. So VidCon was pretty amazing. I wish that I'd gotten more footage. I definitely want you guys to check out my friend's stuff because there was just so many things to do. From the huge poster of Joey and all the rest of them from Escape the Night in the front of the convention center to all the stuff they had outdoors. They had so many food trucks, which I got tons of food from, which was amazing. Honestly, there was times when I got the food and I was like, how can I eat all of this? Honestly, I did not go hungry out there. I had so much food. I felt like I was honestly eating every 2 hours out there. But on the last day, we actually got to go to Disneyland, which I'd been to Disney World several times because I lived in Florida for a while. But Disney World was a beautiful place of its own. The rides were amazing. I got to spend time with Cassie, Meg, and Ken, which was also amazing. And then I ran into a few of the other YouTubers. I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Josh, who helped my friends get into the park with discounted rates because he works at Disneyland and he got us discounts, thankfully. So thankful for that because flying all the way out to California, getting a hotel, VidCon tickets, food, and all of that was just so expensive. Totally worth it, but really expensive. So any way of saving money was totally worth it. And I thank you so much for that, Josh. The last day was amazing. We got to see the parades at Disneyland, ride all the rides. I actually got to get a Stitch hat, which was amazing, and the girl that I purchased the hat from told me that I could get my name subscribed into it as well, so I got Drummond subscribed into the back of the hat so everyone knows that this is my hat. And for any of you guys that didn't know, Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, but Stitch is my all-time favorite Disney character. So the fact that they had a Stitch hat was perfect. So after a long day at Disneyland, we actually had Cassie and Ken drop Meg and I off at the LAX airport. Surprisingly, the airport closes, if you guys didn't know that, but American Airlines does close and you can't get into the airport, which was what we were hoping for because our flight didn't leave until 10 a.m. We probably got dropped off around 2 a.m. and we had to sit there for quite a while, probably 2 hours before they let us into the actual airport, and then it was several hours after that until they actually opened up the restaurants and stores, where I actually got a hoodie that says LA on it because, you know, I had to have something that said that I actually went to LA other than just my VidCon and my Stitch hat. So I got an awesome hoodie and several different VidCon shirts, kind of like the one I'm wearing now. But the trip was amazing. All the memories and stuff that I made were amazing. Dyed my hair blue. Thankfully it's washed out mostly. You can kind of still see tints because one of my friends said they saw a little bit of blue in it yesterday. Thankfully it's mostly back to brown. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Meg's red hair looked amazing. So when we dyed her hair red, everything went pretty smoothly. Didn't get much on her forehead. Maybe a little bit on the back of her neck, but she's got long hair so you couldn't tell. Her red hair looked amazing. It was the same color that she had it dyed when we went to Playlist last year, which was amazing. Everyone loved her red hair. So we decided we would dye mine blue just so that it would be something different. And that's where everything went wrong. So I dyed my hair blue, got in the shower, it went everywhere. Dyed the shower curtains blue, the toilet, the floor, the tub, everything was blue. We actually ended up going to the CVS right beside our hotel, bought a bottle of bleach and some gloves and some scrubbies so that we could actually clean it out because the hotel was already $1,200. I didn't want to pay anything else since it was attached to my credit card. So stuck everything in the tub overnight, bleached it all. Thankfully it all came out and I didn't get charged for anything because when the hotel charge came through, it was only $1,200. So thankfully the blue was all gone and what was left, I guess they didn't notice, which is a good thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I didn't blog. I will get better at it, I promise. I'm actually going to try to blog my trip to the beach and I've got a kayaking trip coming up with my friends as well. So hopefully I will be able to blog all of that for you and I will see you guys next time. Bye.